Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 101. It is Thursday morning, and we are just leaving home. Man, so much stuff going on. This morning I had to send some paperwork in to just say a website that I contribute to, which I've talked about before if you've been around. Take care of some paperwork, take care of some bills, set up the Lowe's pickup for the stuff for the kitchen, basically the outlet covers and stuff. Did all that stuff this morning, got my shower, got ready to go, and planned out my day, figured out what I'm going to do today. It's going to be, we're going to a place that we only go to a few times a year, generally because it is such a hassle to get there, and then parking traffic is always a situation and all that kind of stuff, but we're going to do that today. Also today, a lot of phone calls to make. I had just gotten a new Bank of America card, and I don't know if I waited too long to activate it or if they deactivated it, but the card is not valid right now, so I'll need to call them. If you recall, about a week ago, Bank of America gave me a real hard time because I charged a bunch of money on their cards, multiple cards that I had for like 10 and 20 years. And I finally was using them and paid them off and charged them again, and they locked me out of them. And I called them a couple times. Finally, I had to go to a branch. The branch gave me a hassle, even though I was already there. They needed my ID to set up an appointment, but they couldn't use my ID to verify who I was. I handed it to them. They typed it in the computer, but that wasn't good enough. I had to come back to verify. So I canceled that. I ended up going to a different city on a different trip, like many, many hours away, verifying it there, and then they said, sorry, we can't unlock it. We're going to send you a letter. Well, the letter never came, and I just checked my account a couple days ago, and it was cleared up. So I guess everything's back to normal. So I was holding off on activating a new card I got because it has really good bonuses, and I didn't want that to be part of a problem if there was a problem. So I went to activate it, and it said you can't activate it this way. You have to activate it online instead of through the phone. I went to activate it online. They said I had to call them. So I will be giving them a call. That's one thing. And then some other stuff going on with my bank account, that they're declining charges, like small charges, like $60 charges. So I called the bank, I believe yesterday or the day before. I think the day before yesterday. And they claim, yeah, there's nothing wrong with your account. We're not declining anything. So I need to call these two vendors and say, hey, what's going on? You need to check with the bank. We get this figured out. If we don't get it figured out, I'll attach the withdrawals to a different account that I have, because I don't need to have issues with my credit because of, $60. So we'll get that taken care of today as well. Need to get online in the next hour and a half or so for work stuff, as far as how busy I am for work. There are 3 meetings today, of which I don't absolutely have to attend any of them. So if I wanted to, I could just turn them on online, and that would be good enough. Tomorrow, we have to check in at the office. I may stick around for a while tomorrow. I may end up playing poker or something tomorrow, just to kind of feel things out and figure out what's going on with HR. They were giving the team a hassle about not having our 3 days a week in the office. So I want to figure out if it's a mistake and they're not counting sick days and things like that, or if there's actually a serious problem that we need to fix. So we need to get all that kind of stuff figured out. Also tomorrow we'll be working on some stuff with the team during our team meeting. That's going to be very technical, so we'll have to pay attention and be in a place that's not too sunny, where I'm going to be burning up and have to turn on the air and have issues with the noise. And I'll need it to be in a quiet place so that, obviously they don't hear, a bunch of cars honking their horns and music playing and stuff like that. So we'll have to be prepared for that. This morning it is 47 degrees outside. It is cloudy, light mist coming down. I guess I don't know what was going on last night, but my windshield is really, really dirty. I don't know what this stuff is. I don't know, some kind of pollen or what. But when we stop for fuel, we'll have to clean that off. Other than that, there ain't nothing going on. So I'll be very busy the next 3.5 hours until our stop, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, just pulling over right now, get some fuel. I have enough fuel to, actually, I still have another 250 miles range left, but I'm pulling over now because of the price. Almost every gas station from yesterday to today has jumped from about $3.40, $3.50 a gallon to $4.99 a gallon, which is kind of crazy considering that oil prices went down $3 today. But, you know, why not if people will pay it? I'm all for a free market when it's not gouging, and I don't think it's gouging unless all of them have exactly the same price and they all raise it at the same time, which they just did. So I don't care if you charge $100 a gallon, because someone next to you will charge 99 and someone next to them will charge 96, and it'll go back down. But when they all coordinate like this and it's all $4.99.99, 499.9 a gallon, I think that's wrong. Anyway, there's one gas station here that still has not raised their prices, and so I'm going to fill up here for $3.40. So that's why I'm stopping, even though I don't need fuel, because I'm not sure what will happen by the end of the day if they'll raise their prices too. So yeah, that's what's going on. I did talk to Bank of America. It took 12 minutes to get someone on the phone, and another 10 more minutes at the 22-minute mark before I talked to someone in their fraud department. Fraud, remember that, fraud department. And then we didn't finish the call until 55 minutes into the call. So what happened? Well, sir, the reason that your account was placed on hold was because of large payments that you made. Do I have a laugh track I can push? Because I made a large payment, I said, all I did is pay off the card. One of them had a $5,000 balance. One of them had an $11,000 balance. I paid both of them off. Large payments, okay. Yes, it's a large payment, but that's what I owe. And if I don't make that payment, then I have to pay interest, and I don't want to pay interest. So all that time, and I went to 2 Bank of America branches, and they were all secretive about it and wouldn't tell me anything. And she's like, well, I can't take the hold off unless we call your bank. I'm like, call my bank. So we got my bank on the phone, and she's like, we want to make sure that that the payment cleared. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Why wouldn't it have cleared? I made the payment 3 weeks ago. And they're like, oh, okay, now, yeah, my bank approved it. Yes, it's been cleared. It has cleared 3 weeks ago. So now, all of a sudden, everything is okay, and I can use my card. Isn't that a little bit ridiculous? So, by the way, they didn't mention anything about my spending being 52,472% of my average. That's not the reason why. But paying off the credit card was the reason why. So after all that time, now we got everything straight and good. And eventually, when some of these cars clear out, I'll be able to get my fuel and continue on my trip. So very frustrating, but at least it's all taken care of. All 3 of my cards with them are now active, and I can go back to doing what I was doing. I'll be back. Alright guys, closing in on our first stop of the day, and actually I had to make a last minute change as to where I was going, because if I switched today and tomorrow's schedule, it's actually much more beneficial. So I switched everything halfway here, so going slightly different direction, but I think it's going to be worth it. This city smells so bad right now. I don't know what's going on, if there's some kind of a gas leak or chemical leak or what, but it smells awful in this city. Right now I'm about 8 miles away from my first stop, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. So yeah, it gets pretty difficult when you only have one casino in an area and you're trying to make money. Really difficult. Went in, walking around, making my first lap through the casino, and I see a friend of mine. He practically bumps into me. We talk for a few minutes. He's telling me about how disgusted he is with the way that things are going and how tough it is to make money. We start making plans for our next trip, 2 trips, 3 trips possibly, that we're going to be making. And definitely for sure, I'm going to figure out our plans for our vacation by the end of the weekend. So that'll be done and booked and everything. So that's all taken care of. We will probably be in Vegas and at least one other place by June. So we're not really positive when everything's going to happen. While we're in Vegas, we're going to take a detour. We're going to go to California for one day. May or may not hit any casinos, but we have some meetings out in California, some ideas that I have, and hopefully that'll work out. That would be a very, very big deal, and I won't be able to explain exactly what happened, but it will open up like 10 casinos potentially for me. Maybe not that many, but maybe 5 casinos instantly if that all works out. So that's a very big deal. So we talked for a while, and then he ended up leaving because he's got something going on with one of the houses that he's selling. He had to go take care of that. I'm walking around, I find a few plays, and I end up winning $285. I go to play Blackjack 3 different times. I tried to sit down, and either something was going on with the cards, or it wasn't a new shoe, and it was a higher limit table. Something was going on 3 different times, and I wasn't able to sit down. Finally sit down for a few minutes, and the conditions just turned bad, and I have to get up. And at that point, I have a profit of $0. So very frustrated at that point. Now I've been there over 2 hours, still walking around, find some slot plays. But before that, I go around to this back area, and this guy that plays everything so loose, I don't know how he does it. He just plays. Maybe he's losing way more than what we're seeing, and that all we're seeing is the big wins he has because it locks up and we're walking around and we see it. But $3,456 hit on a $3 bet, and he's waiting for the payout. And I asked this one guy, this Asian guy, what did he find that at? And he told me. And he's like, well, it was at this, and I didn't play it. But the other guy said that it had changed to this. And, of course, we all know that he plays things early, and he got lucky again. So he had that. And then I found a couple plays and went down a rabbit hole. First I'm down $2, then I'm down a couple hundred, then I'm down about 600, then about 750, and now I'm getting really frustrated. Now I've been there for 3 hours, and it's just a big mess. Nothing's working out. Very frustrated. Decide to take a break, just take a lap, just walk around, not doing anything, just walking and just relaxing, taking it easy. I know it's not the end of the world, just gotta relax. And after that, I was there for another hour or so, ended up finding a few more plays, got lucky on one play, like back to back to back, 3 big hits, and ended up that session ahead $66. 66. So between the 2 slot sessions, I was ahead 285, 290, 351, and slots and Blackjack ahead $0. So things are deteriorating more and more. However, with these credit cards being taken care of, I want to tread lightly, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it again. with the online play and the method. I don't think I talked about the method that I'm using online. It makes it a lot easier, a lot less variance. I'll probably start that back up tonight and probably do that all night. Now, speaking of all night, baby. Speaking of all night, I was up till like 3:45, almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I was awake again a little bit after 6, so did not get a lot of sleep, so that's not good either, but I do definitely want to get some play in tonight, and we'll do that. Maybe we'll keep the episode open at that point, and I can pre-record a closing to it, and then quietly in the middle of the night record what happens with the online stuff. So we'll see. Right now, it is 56 degrees, mostly cloudy. Earlier it was raining, and then I was on the phone call with the bank for almost an hour, and by the time I stopped and ended the call, it had gone from raining and dark outside to light outside and the sun peeking through the clouds. So it was a heck of a long trip on the phone, but I'm glad I got those things taken care of. Let me see, there's so much stuff, and a lot of it I can't really talk about, but yeah, a lot of stuff going on right now. Tomorrow I'll be meeting with a guy to pick up his share of what we lost on that big slot, and then I'll be going to the casino that I was going to go to today and change my mind, and then possibly this weekend I might drive halfway or all the way to meet a guy to pay him for that play. I could do it online, but I just don't want to do stuff through my bank account. I just don't like, I already have, like, this month, just the one account had like 70,000 run through it. I just don't want to have any problems with the bank. And, you know, I'm already having some small issues with little $60 payments. And I'm like, I'm going to call them about a $60 payment, and they're going to say, why do you have $70,000 running through your account? So, and that's just one of the accounts. So anyway, all right. I'm going to let you go right now. I'm going to grab some food, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and I have to say, I mean, does it get any worse than this? Traveling all that way for $1 a mile? I mean, less than $1 a mile? It's pretty bad right now. So we'll get through it. I know we will. Just have to take it one step at a time and just keep moving in the right direction. Any win is a good win, obviously. Gas prices did zoom up, so now all gas stations are pretty much $4.99. I see a couple at like $4.29, $4.39, but almost all of them now are at $4.99.9. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. I know lots of news usually happens over the weekend, and they can change things drastically on Monday. I did not get any gas on my way home. Yeah, I'm still driving, but I'm not going to get any. Tomorrow morning, noonish, I should need fuel again because, I mean, I can go 560 miles on one tank of gas. So I should be okay till tomorrow afternoon or noon, and we'll get fuel then. Right now, I'm going to head home and work on some stuff, paperwork and things I have to take care of, do all the family stuff I need to do, and then we'll probably do the online stuff and see what happens from there. Now, I think I mentioned I did do the sports betting. The first round I lost, but I was using free money basically from the casinos for that. I was just using points converted to slot bets. To sports bets. Now, normally if you convert points into slot money, you only get half the amount, but if you do it for sports money, you get the full amount. So that was good. And if you win, you get that amount plus your winnings. So it's actually a really, really good deal. Then, as a higher tier person, I get one bet a month. As long as I bet $100, I get one, I think it's a $150 bet. So I did the one bet, and then immediately the $150 bet, and then there was a $5 free bet from somewhere. and I bet all three of those, and all three of those won. So I was up almost $500 from that. So on top of the money that I started with. So we made that money. Tonight we will work on the online stuff and see what happens. Right now, let me do some segments, and I'll come back and update you in a little while as to what's going on. And I've already forgotten. Oh, what did you eat today, MW? I actually just had some beef jerky and some lentils, actually. I don't know if you guys like lentils or not, but they're good by themselves or with rice or as a soup. They're really good, lots of iron, very tasty. So when I get home, I definitely want to eat some chicken breast or something like that, get more protein, although I did have beef jerky, and I definitely need more than that. And I give that probably an 8 on a scale of 2 through 8. It was a little bit too salty for me. I've never tasted it salty like that before, so probably would not get it again. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, I was on a blackjack table for a very short time, and conditions churned, ended up leaving even. So I tipped $0. And I see there was another thing that happened today that I didn't mention. One of my favorite dealers knows me by my fake name, and he was with the pit that know me by my real name. And I mean, we know each other really well, except for the name, right? So I didn't want to go back there and play in his area just because I didn't want to hurt his feelings if that wasn't my name. We know a lot about each other, so I didn't want to make him feel bad. One of these times, I told him we can go to dinner, and I'll kind of explain to him, I just try to protect my identity. So I won't tell him obviously what I'm doing, but I'll tell him that I'm trying to protect who I am. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I learned that, I left home trying to go to a certain casino, and I ended up changing my mind because right next to me I had offers for next month, which start tomorrow, I believe, which is April 1st, right? I hope. And it makes more sense to go to that place tomorrow rather than to have gone there today. So that's what I'm doing. So, actually, I could. No, there's not enough time. All right, let's head toward home right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, just an update here. I was not able to do any of the online stuff. I'm actually, right now, temporarily, I'm a little too busy to do it. I'm probably going to put it on hold for a few days anyway. Just too much stuff going on, and it was getting too late. So I didn't do any of that. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.